So initially when I received my package or my palette in the mail, I had some very initial thoughts, okay? I was like, why do we have outer packaging? And then my main one was bring the lacquer back. So as you can see, this is cardboard. And I was just like, nope. I want lacquer in my Pat McGrath palettes. That's what I've come to expect. That's what you've been giving me. And I like the lacquer better, okay? And I also felt that the palette was also giving Eternal Eden vibes. And Eternal Eden, this is I don't like this quad, but I use it as a face quad, and as a face palette, it's bomb. Eternal Eden vibes with, you know, a little pop of blue. So those were my very initial reactions to this. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So as you can see, I am playing with the Pat McGrath times Bridgerton eyeshadow palette, and this is Mothership Diamond of the First Water. But if you are new to this channel, welcome, and if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy. I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash in her makeup, okay? But please just call me Ash or Ashley, and eyeshadow is my jam, okay? And the disclaimer is, I really do like Pat McGrath. Pat McGrath is one of my favorite brands, favorite brands, okay? She's up here. It's some other stuff that's like right there with her, but love Pat McGrath, okay? Now, so let's get into this collection. Bridgerton times Pat McGrath. So I think we all saw the reveals and we're like, oh my God, there are blue sequins. I know for me, I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, there are blue sequins instead of gold sequins when that hand crosses over the palette. And then we were surprised to learn that it was Pat McGrath times Bridgerton. So this, like I just said, is the Mothership Diamond of the First Water 6-pan palette. I do think it is actually a little bit thinner than her normal 6-pan palettes. So this is a Star Wars palette. So as you can see, it is just in terms of thickness, a little bit thinner. And when you look at the spines of the palettes, you can see that it's just a little bit thinner. So I don't mind the thinner part of it. And it could be maybe because there's no lacquer in this one, unlike, you know, this one right here where we have the background that the shadows sit in is that hard lacquer that we come to know and love from Pat McGrath. Now, you have 6 different shades. I will insert some swatches, and this is the first time we've also had an astral shade in a Mothership palette, so I did think that that was really special. These 2 shades right here have like a pearlized finish, and it's a matte, and then we have 2 standard like metallics, and then a regular like a new formulation of a creamy matte. I am enjoying those creamy mattes. The palette retails for $65. Unfortunately, it is out of stock at the moment, and there is a link or like a sign up thing on her website for you to watch out for the restocks, and she'll send you an email so when that collection restock. This collection also involved a face palette, but they were pre-existing shades as far as the blushes. So I did not pick that up. I almost started to, just because I think Nymphette was one of the blushes and I didn't have that, but I'm like, that's so light. I'm not going to be able to wear that. But Cherish was in there and I have Cherish. And then there was also a highlight that's only available in that little blush trio. And I didn't have that because it doesn't exist as a single. So I thought about it. Then she also released 2 big highlighters. Now for the highlighters, they cost $60, the 2 large ones. And you get Incandescent Gold 002. And that was a sparkling platinum gold. And part of me was like, you know what? Maybe I want that. But I just have the other highlighter. What is it? The Lunar Nude that has the crown on it and everything from the holiday collection. So I was like, girl, no, $60 is too much. And then I had They have Extreme Gold 002. That's the yellow gold one, giving all the trophy wife vibes by Fenty. And I have trophy wife, so I was like, you know what? No, I'm definitely not doing that. So like I said, I just picked up the eyeshadow palette and I'm happy that that's what I just decided to pick up. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into this eye look right here. I'm going to show you how I achieved it. I'm going to kind of take it back to the old school on my channel when I used to walk through my eye looks, and we'll talk about some final thoughts on the other side. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. My eyebrows are filled in. I'm using my Goof Proof pencil, shade 3.75 per usual. Then I'm using my favorite eye primer, which is the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine. And let's go ahead and jump in. So I am just gonna do one look, and I thought I would do it a little bit different because what I've been noticing basically is like the palette's a little bit lighter and probably a little bit softer aesthetic, and I am going to pull in a shade from Colourpop, and this is Super Shock Shadow. And I was going to initially use like the Blitz Blue pencil. I'll probably still use it in some capacity or either in my waterline, but I was decluttering my makeup collection the other day, and I saw this shade called Issa, which is really, really pretty. So I'm going to use this as a base when it gets time to use that Regency Blue shade. So I want to go ahead and try that. So let's go ahead, get started. First, going in with a Sephora Pro. This is a number 19 brush. I'm going to jump in with the shade Art of the Swoon. And I'm just going to do like back and forth, pop this kind of, you know, up here in the crease as my first transition. And this is just really a light wash of color. So I would say that I do like the sheen of this shade, but you know, it's not a high impact shade at all. Now with that same brush, I'm gonna jump in with the shade Love Match, and this is that deeper pinky red. And this looks like more like a satin shade as well. Okay, yeah, I really like the sheen of this shade. This shade is really pretty. And I'm just blending that into the crease. So I do like the pigmentation of this shade, and also the sheen on it. The sheen makes it very nice. It makes it really, I don't know, it gives it a nice reflect. Jumping in with my Sonia G, this is a Worker Pro. I'm going to go in with the shade Love Match, and we're going to, let's see, deepen up. Oh, this shade is a little bit, looks like a little bit more powdery. I'm going to go ahead and deepen up the crease. Just get a little bit of depth going. And I'm just going to blend that up into the crease. So the shade is not, but I mean, you get a little depth, but you don't get a great deal of depth with this shade. Switching to a Sonia G, this is a Builder Pro, and I'm going to jump in with the middle shade Duchess Divinity. I think this is probably like one of my favorite shades in the palette. This shade is really pretty. It does give eleganza vibes. And I don't know, okay. I'm putting it here, but I just thought about it and I was like, I don't know if it's going to matter in a second. All right, so I don't know if that matters. It didn't show up that well. I don't know. But I thought about it. I was like, grand scheme, it might not have mattered. So I'm gonna go in with the Super Shock Shadow. And then I'm gonna try to change up the order. And I'm just gonna take this Colourpop like flat brush and just pick up some. And then I'm going to lay that down as my base. So I'm gonna kind of change up the order here. The shade is actually really, really pretty. And it does go into that brownie shade, kind of nice, that we have on the outer corner. That is the shade Love Match. So I do like how these two pair together. All right. And I'm just going to kind of blend this up a little bit so it doesn't get lost in my hood. All right, now with my finger, I'm gonna jump in with Regency Blue. And this is quite a sheer shade, so. But look at the impact, haha. Because I was playing around and I was like, oh my God, this would be like an amazing base for Regency Blue. So don't be afraid if you have a extensive collection, got some stuff laying around, go ahead. And that really just pops. All right, I do have a little bit of fallout, but I think we're looking good. I'm gonna take that same Colourpop brush and I'm just gonna go in with a little bit more of Regency Blue and just kind of, you know, take it up some into the crease. I'm really happy with that. Really, really happy. Okay, so this is looking really pretty, but as you can see, this eye is significantly darker than this one. Okay, this is real life what happens. So this could either go left or it could go right. But you know, let's see, we're gonna take this again, wipe off my finger. I'm just gonna go with my finger. This shade is stunning. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more down, get it darker, and then I'm gonna go back over. Yeah, because it was significantly darker. Okay. So it doesn't look like it's disturbing too much. There we go. Back in, take my finger again with the Regency Blue. There we go. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Whew, that's safe. Z-Day. It's pretty. All right. I don't know why I just closed the palette like that. Like I was just like, all right, done. And we only got part of our eye. Like we still got a whole little corner situation. So now I'm gonna go back in with Duchess Divinity. Put that there, because that would make way more sense. There we go. Now, yes. Pretty. I'm gonna kind of pull it up to meet in the crease. Oh, this look. And you know, the thing is, like, you know, Pat McGrath does a lot of layering herself, you know? So don't feel like you use what you have, you know what I mean? If you got another blue shade or something else, like, don't be afraid. It's like, this is all how we get the look sometimes, you know? And I was just really inspired when I was cleaning out my makeup collection. Like, I just had an epiphany moment. I was like, oh my gosh, those two shades together would be just amazing. I'm gonna go back in with the 19 brush that we used in the beginning. Kind of, you know, touch it up here on the outer. I'm gonna take a pointier blending brush. This is a Sigma E45. Then I'm gonna go back in with Plum Regalia. And I'm sorry, Love Match. That's Love Match. Here I go, reading the names wrong again. And I just want to just sharpen this up right here. All right, we got a little pencil brush, Sonia G, popping in with Iconic Ingenue. And we're gonna pop this in the inner corner, like right there. All right, I'm very happy with this look. I'm gonna come right back with my face together and we'll talk about the palette. All right, I'm back and here is the look thus far. It is really, really pretty. I really like the eyeshadow look a lot. Like putting this base down just really amplified Regency Blue. So for my face details, I went in with my Rare Beauty foundation. If you know, if you don't know, I panned my Pat McGrath, my bracelet. I hope it doesn't make too much noise, but it's cute. I want to wear it. But I be in here sounding like a dang on dog. So for the foundation, I use my Rare Beauty foundation because I have panned my Pat McGrath foundation. So okay, I'm just going to take the bracelet off because I know it's got to be loud. So I use that as my foundation along with the concealer. So I told myself that I cannot buy that Pat McGrath foundation again until I work through one or two foundations that I'm kind of close to panning or, you know, getting down. I'm just trying to go through some things, you know, in my collection. Went ahead and took my Gucci bronzer and I went ahead with some AOA lashes and let's see. Oh, for the lip combo, I am rocking Divine Rose. This OpuLust gloss, and I paired it with my Kola lip liner by Juvia's Place. So I didn't do any blush or highlighter yet, but I was going to go ahead and take the palette, and I was going to go ahead with. I'm gonna start with. I kind of want to do Love Match, even though it might be a little bit bold. But I'm going to start with Art of the Swoon here, and then I'll go with Love Match there. So I'm just taking a Rephr 19 brush to achieve that. And I'm just going to dip in carefully because I don't want my palette looking all crazy. Let's see. Okay, and it did pick up some. So, ooh, because, yeah, with that shine, ooh. That's pretty. You see that sheen? The sheen is pretty. I'm going to go in for a little bit more. Pick it up, and it's applying really nicely. That's the beauty. So I do find that, you know, like the Eternal Eden quad, I don't really care for that quad, but, you know, I use it as a face palette, so it works. Now I'm going to jump in with this baby. Bring it up. A little ombre effect. So I like that. It's working for me. It's working, okay? We see. So pretty. All right. I keep closing this palette like girl. Like, so let's see. Now for our highlight, I'm going to go in with Iconic Ingenuity, or what is it? Yeah, Iconic Ingenuity. I have my Kaleidos highlight brush right here. Just going to take a little. Ooh. Okay. I am here for this. So this is the final look. I think it came out really beautiful. It made me excited to play with this palette because, truth be told, I wasn't that excited. I was excited to see the collection. I was excited, you know, purchasing the collection, waiting for it to arrive. Once it arrived, I mean, I was really ill once it arrived, so maybe that just kind of jaded my thoughts, but I don't know, I just wasn't that excited anymore. I really wasn't. But now that I play with it and, you know, did a couple techniques, put, you know, some things on my cheeks and the final look and I just kind of knew in my heart, I was like, the best way that I'm going to use, you know, that Regency Blue is just to definitely put it over a base, and it just really amplified the look. So, you know, I do appreciate that. And I really like this so far. So as far as the palette, I think the packaging is beautiful, like this outside packaging right here. And I already let you know my thoughts about how I feel about the lacquer. Like, bring the lacquer back. It just kind of dulls the palette down. And it's Bridgerton, so, and we're thinking about the Regency era, and everything is just so grand and magnificent in the show. And then it's like I open the palette and I have all of this on the outside, and then I open the palette and I'm like, okay, like the color story is good, but when I just look at it, it just looks so flat. I'm not used to that. I think the only time she's ever done that before is just with the first Mothership Mega, which was Celestial Divinity. But I like the lacquer, okay? I also didn't understand why we had this. I don't know if it was maybe something with the contract with Netflix. And I mean, because honestly, maybe we had this because maybe there were some requests to like actually start including the ingredients. I know I have had like a subscriber to say they can't really find the ingredients on her website. They're usually not on her motherships, you know. So maybe that was the solution. Maybe she just needed to start putting her ingredients on there, and people will appreciate that. So I do, the packaging, the outer package is gorgeous. You know, we just haven't really had an outer package for a 6-pan before, so it just kind of, it threw me off. And I know we have had it with the Celestial Odyssey and the Mothership Mega, but I don't know, for a 6-pan, it just threw me off. So that's that. But on par, I think the shadows perform wonderfully. So, you know, I think that part of the aesthetic, because, you know, they weren't wearing super extravagant eye looks in the show, and they definitely, you know, they did the rouge for the cheeks, so I think that makes sense, and I think the highlighters make sense, a part of the collection. I just didn't think it was a need for me to purchase it, but overall, like, the aesthetic of the collection is absolutely gorgeous. We cannot deny that. Yes, it's very pink. I'm tired of pink, but I'm glad to see the blue, like the pop of blue. I'm glad to see the astral shade in a 6-pan palette. So overall, the quality of the shadows are very nice. I do think that there is just no room. We just don't need these two colors together. So I would definitely prefer this one, and I would have preferred to have some type of a blue matte, you know, to really kind of deepen the look. Plum Regalia is nice, and I think it could have served as a mid-tone, definitely having Art of the Swoon, or sorry, Love Match as our brighter pink shade. And it just, it's feeling a little redundant. I do think that when you look at, like, if you go on Kinky Sweat's channel, she has like so many swatches for this, and it is kind of repetitive to her collection that already exists. So that's that. But the performance, of course, is just so easy. You saw it. I mean, it just didn't take much at all to lay these shadows down at all. So I do appreciate it. I am going to keep playing with it because now I'm excited about some of the looks and that I can get with this palette. I still think it's slightly a one-trick pony, maybe 2 tricks in there, but overall, I do really like the performance of this palette. So let me know down below, what did you purchase? Did you pick up anything about this from this collection? To me, Star Wars is still on top. As far as a collab, Star Wars is tippy top. Like, just, this is beautiful, but Star Wars, that's a collab of good collabs. So let me know down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be very, very soon. And subscribe to my channel because, you know, I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with that being said, you already know how we end the videos around here. We gotta hit it with the chair dance. Chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. Chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.